it different than?
Well, Islam has the month of Ramadan.
Yeah.
Our fasting is different than even Hindu fasting and Christian fasting, where we give up all food and drink as long as the sun is up. When that thing goes down, well, we're not supposed to party, but you know what we do.
Yeah.
But we do it for 29 to 30 days, and it's supposed to remind us that there are people. I mean, we're doing it for only 1 month out of the year, but there are people in this world who are living in such conditions that that's every day of their life. They can't afford to eat so much, even though they need to. So Ramzan, the month of fasting, is to teach us humility and respect.
Yeah.
To understand that, look, we have it pretty good. And in essence we do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are
We have a lot
significantly
to be
worse off
thankful
here.
for sure.
I mean,
Being in
look,
Canada.
you already put in order for PS4, right?
Shut up.
No, I'm just saying an example. You put in order for PS4.
Yeah.
I'm considering getting an Xbox One. So really, like, what's a problem for us right now? We really want those game systems, but they cost a ton of money. But like, that's what we consider a problem. I want to get that
that's
game
not my
system.
problem.
I want to get a car.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, that's what we would consider
Materialistic
an
issues,
issue right
right?
now.
Our
Whereas these
issues are
people are missing
materialistic.
base utilities. They need
Bases,
something
basics,
they need food, they need water, they can't afford that.
Sustenance.
Exactly. So Islam is supposed to teach you, saying that, look, you have a lot of stuff. Imagine if you had to live life without it. You know what? Better yet, instead of imagine, actually do it. You now have 1 month of fasting. Granted, it doesn't want us to even feel harmed by it until we get sick for lack of food, and therefore we eat at night. But the day when we actually is when you actually do, you get up, you go to work, you do things. It's during the day. That's when you're conscious.
Yeah.
That's when it says no. You have to feel it when you're aware. Fasting at night doesn't make a difference because for most people who sleep like 8, 10, 12 hours, the night just zooms right by. Doesn't make a difference.
True.
So that's why we only fast during the day. I know Christians, they have Lent, but I don't fully understand how it works. For what I understand is that they have to pick something very close and important to them that they do on a very routine basis, daily, hourly, whatever. And I think for a week they have to give it up.
I see.
And usually a lot of people actually give up specific food items or something. But that's how they work. That's their logic. That's fine for them. But personally for me, I wouldn't give up a food item at that point. If it's only going to be for a week, I'd rather give up something major. Say, for example, I would say, you know what? I don't want to sleep in my bed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that can't afford a bed. So they sleep on the ground. You know what? For that 1 week, if I have to give something up, I will give up my bed.
Yeah.
That's it. If I love driving everywhere, like I just want to drive, I will give up driving for a week.
Yeah.
I'll say, you know what, screw it. For anything that's within 10 kilometers, I will not even take transit. I will walk. There's no use in giving up something that you have ready-made alternative.
Yep.
How does you're Sikh? Is there any concept of fasting in Sikhism?
Our religion
No, but
was
not
pretty much modified for the
But not. I don't mean
present
fasting
times.
as in like you give up all food or something.
So like
Is there any
400
concept of giving
years
up
old.
anything for a certain time period?
No. Dude,
Really?
well, we have that langar thing for forever, right? Like that's people are supposed to give, as generously as possible, as much as they feel like contributing, and as long like it could be in any shape or form. You could give money to the temple, or you could give grains, or you could give simple food items, and they basically like our langar, how it works is it just as long as those contributions come in, the temple just gives them out to the people who come for eating. It could be anybody could come eat there.
Well, in essence, that's in all religions, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Islam says the same thing: give to charities, give to those in need. Christianity says the same thing.
Yeah, but
In
we
essence,
have
that's in all religion, and that's
this
the base
concept-
rule of religion.
Yeah, and the concept is like
Be kind to your fellow man.
yeah, and we eat on the same level plane. Like we can't sit on seats and stuff like that. It's just
Exactly.
supposed to just to make you feel like you're the same as.
There is no
every
such
other.
thing as a head of a table.
Yeah,
It's like it's an end. That's it.
And
Everyone has a spot. Everyone sits
but
at
the
equal
best
level.
part
no one's
is
a competitor.
everybody serving is not taking money for anything. There's no like ulterior
Volunteer.
motive. It's just everybody's volunteering and doing it out of the goodness of their heart, which is a good thing. Like,
But
I
you're
think-
sure like there's nothing that's
but
even
there's
optional?
no fasting. There's
Really?
no fasting as per se. I mean, I know of fasting in Hindu religion where they're allowed to eat certain stuff, but not all foods. So
well,
they basically,
traditional Hinduism says
So they
they're
can
not
eat-
even supposed to eat meat ever.
Yeah.
They can't eat eggs. They can't eat cheese. Really, nothing that came as a byproduct of an animal. Everything that they eat is all naturally grown fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Which to me is also part of the problem in the whole concept of obesity and everything in India, but whatever. But then well, typically in other religions, like fasting reminds us, forcefully reminds us to be humble.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that there are lesser people and it's for us to understand them. Is there anything in Sikhism that matches that kind of teaching?
But humility.
It might not be a thing of-
Humility comes from sitting on the same plane as the rest of the people, right?
But is there
So
anything that's specific to
there's no
Sikhism?
specific.
Really?
I don't think there's any such fasting or anything.
That's interesting, actually.
I'm telling you,
well,
our
not
religion's
fasting
like
specifically,
450
but any kind of specific act.
450 years old, and it's very basic to the point where it's just living generously and not
Sikhism
complicated.
is only 450?
Yeah, 400.
That's a very young age.
Oh yeah, very
religion.
very young.
Because I know Islam alone is over 1400 years
Oh
old.
yeah,
It's like 1460
Islam and
something.
Christianity are the two main religions that have been carried from the longest time. But
But the problem is Islam and Christianity have been two main religions warring with each other.
for example, there's that guy who at our workplace who's Baha'i. Baha'i faith is apparently 100, 150 years
Joe.
old. Yeah, Joe, there you go.
I need to figure out another way to get people into like listening to this.
That's what I...
Oh, you know what I could do? Turn this audio into some kind of a video with like a single still image or something and put it up on YouTube as well. I created a new Gmail account to record any emails for my web hosting and everything. But the thing is, since I created a Gmail account, that means I have a new YouTube account associated with it.
Yeah.
Actually, the thing is, while doing this, I really do hope to catch one person's attention. I really, like a specific person. I want to do this whole talking thing. The main thing I started this podcast for, and you even noticed this, before I was doing the podcast, whenever we were having a discussion about anything, you or me, or you, me, Manuel, and every time we were talking in the cafeteria or something, how many people started flocking around us. Like they started listening in, and even some people even throwing some contributions and everything. People getting interested in what we're saying. But the one main thing we got back from those other people, they liked how we weren't just jumping to assuming one person was right or wrong. Everyone is right in one way or another. Everyone is wrong in one way or another. Our main focus was what is right from each person, and when a wrong item comes up, where did it come from? How did it develop? How did people get away with so long? So really, the point of this whole podcast was teach people. Talk. Think about it. If there's something that you want to talk about,
Yeah.
but you don't feel comfortable reaching out to someone to talk about it, but it just so happens there is a channel like this that already talked about it. And it wasn't a one-way conversation where it's just one person talking out to the world. There were at least two people that were going back and forth about it in a respectful manner. Because think about it, if there was a topic that you wanted to learn more about, that you didn't feel too comfortable talking about in general, you just want to know more about it, say something as simple as something related to sex. It's not that easy to openly discuss that with someone. But you know what? If there's a channel like this, and it turns out there was already a conversation recorded in that channel specifically about that topic, would it make it that much easier for you to go to that video, go to that podcast, and listen to that?
Oh, yeah.
And what makes it even better is that while you're there, chances are other people that got involved in that specific topic,
Added to it.
they're adding to it, they're talking about it too. So you're not initiating anything, you're joining what was already started.
But that's chat rooms. That's the beginning of chat rooms and the.
It is true, but a chat room implies that the conversation is happening right here, right now, and nothing else. Whereas with a podcast, with an RSS feed, with a website, with a forum, or with a YouTube channel, that conversation will stay there for years and years and years, and people can continue to talk about it. Even though on other posts, new topics started, this topic is still going. It never ends. So if you really want to keep learning about that one topic, chances are you're not the only person. There's a lot of people that are talking about it. Funny thing is, I'm looking to get the attention, not forcefully, but naturally. By letting this channel progress on its own. A guy named Mark Fishbach. He's in the University of Cincinnati, in the U.S. And his typical thing, like what he does on a day-to-day, he does playthroughs on YouTube. Remember I showed you his channel once. He's a really funny guy to listen to. I mean, the personality he puts on for the different games that he plays, he's freaking hilarious. The main thing he wanted to go into himself was stand-up, like just comedy sketches, do act out in skits. But once a month, and he is more of a man than I am for doing this, since people are paying more attention to his gaming commentary, once a month, he will only play games for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours straight. It'll be a live video that will also be recorded and put up on YouTube later. And while he's doing it live, he's actually collecting donations for some charity. He has donated to diabetes, he has donated to cancer research, he's donated to hospitals. Yeah. Every time he's done it, he's set his goal that much higher. First time was 5,000, blew that out of the water. 10,000, blown out of the water. 15, 20, 25,000 was his last one, and he went up to almost 32. Now his next one is 30,000, to see how far that's going to go. And every time he does it, it goes more and more. Originally, he only got 7,000. Now he's getting 30 plus. This guy has over 560,000 followers. He's gaining an average of 3,000 to 5,000 per day, new followers. But look at what he's doing with it. He's not forwarding his own agenda or anything. He's just teaching people. He's just talking to them. Getting himself out there, but at the same time getting his concept out there. But it was actually watching his videos and watching his charity live stream that I realized that if you want to make a change to something, you don't necessarily have to do it directly. Look at what Mark does. He gets people's attention and he talks to them through a YouTube channel doing just something that he has fun doing. And he does a charity stream where, again, he's just doing something he has fun doing, just playing games and talking to people. And during the charity live stream, they actually monitor Twitter and Twitch, which is the site where they host the live stream. They monitor the chats and everything. So if someone asks a question or something, they actually go through it, and if there's an interesting question, they will say, this person from this place said this, here's your answer. And they'll do it like right in the middle of the stream.
That's awesome.
I'm thinking that's a really interesting concept. He's getting people's attention, but the thing is at the same time, even though he's talking to a group of people, he's at the same time focusing on the one individual.
Yeah.
He has been reported in the news once for sure. I can't remember what newspaper it was. It might have been the Charlotte Observer. No, not Charlotte. Cincinnati something. He has made record-breaking contributions to charities month after month. And really, that's kind of what I want to do.
Yeah, they're technically sound.
I don't want to target any kind of group help. Like, I want to say I want to help this one. No, I want to help everyone, but at the same time. To me, the easiest way for me, the concept of knowledge. Get people to learn about things themselves and give them the motivation to help out directly.
True.
Because for a lot of people, when you talk to them about a specific issue, they might donate or something one time, and then they say they're done with it. But imagine if after having a channel like this, just talking to people, talking to other people, and then just taking comments and concepts from other people, grow that idea. Instead of forcing it on someone, plant a seed in their mind, a good one, that motivates them to help.
Oh, yeah.
So this way, they don't feel any pressure to do anything. They feel the motivation because they want to do it. They want to step up their game. They want to help. They want to do more.
Sure.
To me, that's way better than just doing it once and then that's it.
Yeah.
Too bad it's actually so hard to edit all this audio, get people's attention. Who was it that said that anything that, so I can't remember what the exact word was. Basically, if it's only work, if it takes hard work to do it, then it's worth doing. That's it. If it doesn't require time and energy, then it's not worth it. Look, we've only done this for a couple weeks. There's 9 episodes. No more than like a month and a half we've been doing this. But look at what topics we covered. Look at the discussions that we had. We've covered everything from government to religion to science to evolution to even physics and sciences and theories.
Yeah.
And in the sciences itself, we've covered actual science, and basically how chemistry and physics have evolved, how mathematicians have learned to work with the current society. We've also done social sciences. How's society grown and evolved? How does it affect us? How does our psychology affect it? But you know what? I think I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to take that email that I used to create this podcast, create a YouTube account with the same channel name, Lunchtime Conversations. I'm going to turn all this audio and turn it into video on the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Why not?
It won't be a real video. It'll be like the standalone image with the audio playing.
Like I said, you're doing more than I am.
And this way it'll be easier in case anyone actually wants to reach out to us and say, well, you talked about this, but you didn't cover this. What about that? You know what? That's the topic of our next conversation. I just show that to you, forward you the email or something, and say, okay, you know what? No, we should look at this. This person's right. We should have covered this. Because our thing is not that we're forcing our opinions, or we're talking about our opinions. We're talking about the overall concept of things.
Balanced perspective.
Yeah. I think one thing that makes our conversation that much better is that, as much as possible, we try to avoid a specific standpoint. No, I try to avoid, no matter what my beliefs are. If I did believe that Muslims are the best in the world, I would not say that. I would go with the opinion, the standpoint that, you know what, every religion has its pros and cons.
Yeah.
If we want to compare them, we compare them at a level playing field.
Yeah.
Different things that we share.
Agree.
One example is that I can compare Islam to Christianity. We actually have a lot of things in common.
Yeah.
The way men and women are treated, the way that we treat the poor, the less fortunate. But at the same time, I can't compare Islam's Ramadan to anything in Sikhism. Because you just told me that there is no specific fasting act that I can relate to. And if I try to relate it to another act that's optional or required, it won't be the same. I can compare Islam's Ramadan to Christianity's Lent, which is ultimately the same thing. You have given up something important for a period of time to understand what it's like without it. And you know what, there's another, I wouldn't call religion, I would say belief in its own way, that we haven't covered, that unfortunately a lot of people are afraid to say that they are of that belief. Atheism. There's a lot of people out there that are atheists.
Oh, yeah.
That are afraid to say that they're atheists because they are in that part of the country where atheism looks as idiots, as retards, as lesser beings, as outcasts. Really, my belief is just that, you know what, I know what atheism is about, and I understand it. And you know what? It's a very valid belief. And I'm using the term belief here loosely. Atheism is more about scientific facts.
Yeah.
That's how things progress. But I'm just using it as just a term. There's a pretty good chance you have a 15-year-old out there who wants to tell the world that they're not Christian, they're atheist, but they're afraid of what their friends are going to do, what their family's going to do. If I put something up on our channel, we already talked about it, what is good and bad about other religions.
Yeah.
That person will have that much more freedom to open up. And you know what? If they don't want to flat out confess to anything, but they want to do something on topic, that's okay.
Yeah.
This is not about confession. This is about learning.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Just speaking to people, help them out. Give them a medium to open up.
Well said.